Game 7 or from championship number 6. Jordan, open, Chicago with the lead.
Minute remaining, and they're putting Curry in the pick and roll, trying to get him on Irving. Irving and Curry, one-on-one. Irving puts it up. It's good! Kyrie Irving from downtown!
We're sending it in, Jerome. That's for damn sure.
Yes. What is up, everybody? Welcome to Taproom Sports Podcast. I'm your host, Jordan. Stacks on Stacks, joined, as always, with my guy, Mr. Big Ball and Ben Larson.
We are not the Taproom Sports Podcast anymore.
Taps and Jacks.
There we go. That's gonna be a while to get changed.
Yes, I gotta get used to it.
Yeah.
And Ben fucking cut his fucking mustache off.
I look 10 years younger.
Fucking crazy.
So I take off my hat.
Yeah. Well, welcome to the show. We are gonna start our top 10 position list tonight, heading into the regular season, Major League Baseball regular season. Pitchers and catchers do report in about a month, a little less than a month.
Less, yeah.
So
3 weeks.
We're really gonna get into this and start really diving in. But first, before we get into that, we are being brought to you by the Sharps app, SHARPZ, straight to your mobile device. Use promo code JORD517. It's free to download, free to use. Track your bets, become a better Sharps app. But before we get to that, obviously, since we last spoke, Roki Sasaki
Fuck the Dodgers.
signed with the Dodgers, and also Tanner Scott signed with the Dodgers. Tanner Scott actually took less money to sign with the Dodgers than what the Red Sox offered him.
And technically, Sasaki took less money as well because he had 2 other higher bonuses that he could have taken.
Yeah. So
San Diego and Toronto both offered $10 million in bonus, and he took 6.
So my question to you is, because like there's a lot of talk going on, and people are like, the Dodgers are bad for baseball, or the other side is, well, they're doing everything they can to make their team better. Like the other owners should do the same. What's your thoughts around it? Because I have a few opinions on the whole situation, but what do you think about it, about everything?
Yeah, at this point, it's just more of a like, okay, who's going to be next kind of look to it. I'm not really mad anymore because I've kind of gotten over that and just kind of been like, as a division rival, fan, it is what it is. This is a elite super team that they've put together. They're getting a ton of money from their TV deal. They're getting a ton of money from their Japanese deals. The owners are incredibly rich. The fans pay a high price for tickets. And they have the money to do this. The way that they're doing it, I don't necessarily agree with. I think the deferred payment is very... I don't want to say it's not unfair, because obviously any team can do it. But I think they're doing it to excess, and I think that's going to cause a lot of problems within the CBA, the next CBA. And do we put a salary cap in? No. Do we put a salary floor in? I think so. But we've talked about this previously. A salary floor is just going to mean mediocre players get paid more. And it is going to force the owners to spend, but you'd hope that the owners would spend their money smarter.
Well, I think
and get the best product that they can, not just increase and inflate salaries of mediocre players.
So in terms of salary floor and salary cap, I mean, the Tanner Scott deal absolutely hurts the Major League Baseball Players Association, because the job of them is to get players paid the most money. And when players take less to go to another team, that hurts in future negotiations, right? When they go to and implement, say, we want a salary floor, owners are going to come back and say, well, you got players signing for less money just to play in a certain market. So what's a salary floor going to do?
Yeah.
And I think that in itself is like a huge thing because like I don't mind the Dodgers deferring money. Like that's on them, dude. The ownership is putting a lot of faith into the future of the economy because bro, like the economy could absolutely tank, dude, and they could owe, billions of dollars in salaries 10 years down the line for players that aren't even playing, and that affects the product that they're going to be able to put on the field, right? So they're just taking a massive risk right now, sort of say by deferring these salaries, which is on them. Great for them. Cool. Whatever. It hurts the value of the franchise in terms of selling it down the line, et cetera, et cetera. I don't mind that. What I do have a problem with is when we talk about competitive balance and all this shit, and we have a team who has a much larger TV deal than everybody else, and therefore can spend more money because their owners don't have more money than the Blue Jays. Their owners don't have more money than the Mets. Yet these other teams are the Blue Jays as the prime example. They've offered Ohtani more money than he took with the Dodgers. They've offered Sasaki more money than he took for the Dodgers. They've offered all these free agents, dude, and not just these ones. They've offered a ton of free agents, and they've all taken
Year
other
after year.
offers.
Yeah.
And the Blue Jays are sitting here, and they're listening to people say, "Well, your owners should spend money." They're trying.
They're trying. Yeah.
It's not like they're not. Like they've offered more money on all these guys, and they haven't taken it.
Yeah.
And so therefore, it's like, okay, well, how do we bring balance to the league? Because if everybody's just going to go to the Dodgers because they're stacked and they want to win a World Series and they have this Japan deal, and they're making $1 billion in revenue just from Japan, well, then we're talking about competitive balance that no other team really has access to. And even though they go and they offer you more money, you're still not going to take it. And case in point is Tanner Scott.
Yeah.
And that's where we have an issue.
Yep.
That is when it becomes an issue. And therefore, I do think in the next CBA, Steven said, "What's up?" Steven, nice to see you again, brother. Welcome. So I do think in the next CBA, Ben, I do think the owners are going to come. They're going to say, we have to implement a salary cap. Like, if you want a salary floor, sure, but there has to be a salary cap as well. Because the Blue Jays owners, the Padres, like these other teams that are willing to spend, but in the Giants, another good example, Ben, these teams that are willing to spend, but these free agents aren't signing with them and taking less money to go elsewhere, they're going to come in and they're going to say, we absolutely need a salary cap. Because we're trying to spend money and players are going elsewhere and taking less money just because they want to. And
Yeah, I mean, look at the Dodgers salary luxury tax this year, $375 million.
Yep. But
That's
again,
more
like
than that's more than like half the teams.
But again, if like you're willing to pay it, like it is what it is.
Yeah,
you know?
but again, that does not give the competitive nature. I mean, this team is going to break the win numbers this year,
They should.
which it like that goes down in the record books, but does that mean anything?
Yeah, I mean, I think super teams are good for sports because it brings a villain aspect, and I think that's where Major League Baseball really thrived. In our youth was that you had like the Yankees that spent way more money than everybody else, and you either loved the Yankees or you hated the Yankees. There was no in between, right? And I think the same thing is going to be the Dodgers now. You're either going to love the Dodgers or you're going to hate the Dodgers, and most of the people outside of Los Angeles, California, are going to be rooting against it. Against the Dodgers.
But I think that was the big thing about the big difference about the Yankees and the Dodgers is that every single place that you went, you would see Yankees jerseys. I don't necessarily know if we're going to see Dodgers jersey, maybe Ohtani.
Yeah, Ohtani's definitely the biggest star.
But other than that, I don't think you'll see Dodgers jerseys in other other locations. They're not the like fan friendly team that the Yankees portrayed in the early 2000s, where everybody was a Yankees fan.
Yeah, but the Yankees have like historical significance because I mean they're
So
one of
the
the
Dodgers.
yeah, but the Dodgers moved from Brooklyn to LA. Like a lot of people, no matter where you were born, because remember, baseball when it first started was like really in just one corner of the country.
Yeah.
And then
all
they
East
would
Coast.
and then during the off season they would like travel around to other countries. So everybody was like a Yankees fan or a Red Sox fan or a New York Giants fan or a Brooklyn Dodgers fan or a Philadelphia A's fan, right? So but those teams that moved, like the San Francisco Giants, the Dodgers, the A's, right? They don't have as like historically that same significant, impact that like the Yankees have, right? Because like there's a lot of people I know. It's like, oh, why are you a Yankees fan? Well, my grandparents were Yankees fans, right? Like that's just how it was back then. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because they haven't moved. You know what I mean? Like I mean,
Yeah.
the Philadelphia A's are one of the best teams of their time, but you don't see people being like, "Oh, I'm an Oakland A's fan because my grandparents were Philadelphia A's fans." You know what I mean? Like, because they moved, so they lost a lot of that. And most people that were New York Giants fans eventually became New York Mets fans. Sorry.
Yeah.
So I think that those moves kind of got lost in translation. But anyways, I just think that that's totally different. But what I do think is similar is that a majority of the country is going to be tuning in to watch the Dodgers lose or want them to lose, which
Want them to use.
which in turn is going to create revenue for all the teams and for Major League Baseball.
Yeah.
Because I'm telling you right now, Ben.
I wonder how long that's gonna last though.
Oh, it's gonna last. It's gonna last because everybody's gonna want to watch. Everybody's going to want them to lose, except for Dodgers fans.
Dodgers fans, yeah.
You know what I mean? So everyone's gonna. It was the same thing with like the LeBron Heat, right? Or the Cavs. Everyone wanted LeBron to lose. So everybody would tune in to watch LeBron lose. I think the same thing is gonna be here, dude. Like people are gonna want the Dodgers to lose.
Yeah. The problem is they're not gonna lose because they're so fucking stacked.
You never know. You still got to play the game.
Yep.
You know what I mean? Like on paper, they should win 130 games and should smoke through the playoffs, but that's not life, dude. Shit happens, bro.
Playoff
like
are a whole different battle to fight. So
anything can happen.
Yeah.
Anything can happen.
I think we need to see. I think we need to see two items in the new CBA to adjust this massive spending in the high markets to make things more competitive. I think that's going to have to be a cap on deferral, whether it's a percentage of the contract that can be deferred or a percentage of the team's payroll that can be deferred. There has to be something because we're looking at over $1 billion in contracts
Again,
for the Dodgers.
I think the deferral thing is fine, dude. You just if you want to defer contracts, I think the bigger issue is
the deferral of the one that still gets me is Ohtani's and how.
But he's still getting 40 million against the cap.
But he's getting paid 70 million a year worth.
Yeah, but I mean it's still 40 million against the cap.
And states are not going to be happy with this, especially California, because when these people are getting paid the money for doing work in California, they're not paying all of the California taxes. When Shohei goes back to Japan, he's not paying taxes on that money.
Yeah.
And that's a big thing where I think you're going to see issues with the state of California and the Dodgers.
I'm not going to sit here and take sides with the government. So
no, but the government wants their money, and they're going to find their way to get their money. And
I think the biggest thing, Ben, is there has to be something done with the TV deals, bro. Like half the teams still don't have a TV deal.
Yeah,
the Padres don't have a TV deal.
Yeah,
you know what I mean. So like, how do you expect these teams to spend with a team like the Dodgers who has a $10 billion TV deal, right? Like how can anybody in their division compete with them when the Padres don't even have a TV deal? I don't even think the Diamondbacks have a TV deal at this point. Like
the Diamondbacks do have a TV deal. They're part of this NBC Sports.
the Diamondbacks joined NBC Sports?
I believe so. I think they're part of the same deal that the Giants have.
Because they were part of Bally's before. Diamond Sports
well,
Group.
And Bally's got bought by Diamond.
No, Diamond went bankrupt. So FanDuel bought
FanDuel
some of them,
bought, yeah,
but they didn't buy all the markets.
RC Diamond.
They only bought some of the markets. I don't know. If Steven's still in the chat, Steven, do the Diamondbacks have a TV deal? Because he lives in Phoenix, Scottsdale area.
Diamondbacks announced new TV streaming deal for 2024.
So that's like the same thing the Padres have.
Yeah.
It's not like a TV deal. They're like not getting the revenue of a TV deal.
Produced and distributed by MLB. Distributed on dbacks.tv.
So they have the same deal that the Padres have.
Yeah.
I also think the Minnesota Twins have that same one. I think like half the league has that right now.
Yeah.
Because FanDuel, when they bought Diamond Sports Group, they didn't buy all the markets. They only bought like the big markets they were in. So they bought like the Atlanta Braves. They bought what else did they buy? I think like Texas. I know the Astros have like their own network, so they don't have the Astros, but I think they have the Rangers.
Diamondbacks have no RSN contract. Previous deal, which had paid $68 million in 2022, dropped by Diamond Sports Group in June 2023, and MLB is handling their market.
Yeah, dude, Rob Manfred got to handle this, bro. Like what the fuck is he doing? How do we have half the league that doesn't have a fucking TV deal, dude? And how, Ben, how the fuck is it 2025 and like you can't watch every fucking game in every market?
Yeah.
Like these are things that need to be figured out. These are things that have to get done. Rob Manfred is failing. He's failing the sport.
Yep. So Dodgers, co-owner of Spectrum, LA 2023 figure was unreported. 22 revenue was 196 million.
Yeah, they have like a 10-year, $10 billion deal or something.
It's like 8.6.
Yeah, 8.6. That's right.
Oh, that was from.
But it's way bigger than everybody else. The Yankees have like the second. The Mets have a good TV deal. The Blue Jays have a good TV deal too.
Cubs do. Yeah. October
Red Sox.
2024. Okay, here we go. This one tells us the most. Oh no, that's 2023 revenues.
They probably haven't posted 2024 yet.
Yeah. 2023 Yankees 679 million. Dodgers 549, Cubs 506, Red Sox 500, Braves 473, Phillies 458, Astros 445, Giants 443, Rangers 425, and Seattle 396. Those are the top 10.
Seattle still won't spend money.
Yeah. Well, their valuation is only 2.2 billion.
Only.
Whereas the Yankees are 7.6.
Jesus.
Dodgers are 5.5.
That's gonna honestly the deferred money is gonna hurt their valuation.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, because it's all money owed.
Yeah, that probably fucking hella crushes their valuation.
Well, I think the team is still worth that, but you're gonna get a like money off the, like, if they were to sell the team's still worth 5.5 billion. But if you were to sell the team and you still owe that money, it's gonna just come off of the top of that. I don't think it's
No, because that's part of like the books.
yeah.
It's like if you were to fucking sell a house where you still owe money on, you know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
um,
Yeah, but
Steve,
that house is still worth that much, but then you have to
yeah,
subtract the money owed.
yeah. Steven said the crazy thing is Phoenix is the fifth largest TV market in the country. I think the Suns owner is onto something with moving it local. Yeah, the problem with that is you moving it to a local channel, or also like what Steve Ballmer wants to do. Steve Ballmer wants to start like his own Clippers streaming service, right? Which I actually think is like the future. The problem is that out of market people. So let's say you're a Suns fan and you move to New York, you can't watch the Suns.
Unless they sell out, right?
No, that was the old football deal, but
Okay.
that's been over with. So, well, unless you sign up for like League Pass, right? It's the only way to watch it. But there needs to be a universal, like, we should be able to, as fans, dude. We should be able to spend, $50 a year to watch every single game, right? Or $10 a month, every single game. Doesn't matter your market. Every single game, $10 a month, right?
Yeah.
That has to be done. And they got to figure it out, dude. They got to figure it out. They have to figure it out. And you could still have your own market, your own TV market or whatever, because you're still going to, like, obviously if you're in LA, you're going to get more ad revenue because you're selling to more people, right? So,
Well, then it's wherever your IP address is, that market is blacked out for you on this TV deal. So you have to watch the local TV.
no, fuck that. If I'm paying $50 a
That's how you
month, I want to watch everything.
Well, no, that's what I'm saying though. Like you get 29 out of the 30 teams, but your local team, wherever your IP address is, you have to watch on their network.
But that basically is how it is now. Except I'm in Las Vegas and I have like
Yeah,
six
so you
teams that are considered my local teams, so
local,
I
yeah.
can't watch six
Yeah.
teams. But if you
That's fucking crazy, but
the only team I can technically watch locally is the Padres.
yeah,
That's
which
like
is still 5 hours away,
yeah.
6 hours away. But
Steven said agreed, but that will never happen. Yeah, that's a problem.
yeah,
They're
unless you're paying an exorbitant amount for that.
yeah, they're motherfuckers are too greedy, dude. They're way
Yep.
too greedy. All right, so let's hop into our top 10. We're gonna break down part of our off-season series. We're gonna break down top 10 of each position heading into 2025. So we're gonna start it off with outfielders.
Mhm.
We're gonna do 10, and then we can also throw some honorable mentions in there as well after the top 10, because the outfielders one, I'm not gonna lie, Ben. Like I had a hard time, dude. I have a lot of scratches on mine and replacements, and this was the hardest list because obviously there's a plethora of
Yeah,
outfielders,
you have 3 times as many outfielders than any other position. So
and I also think like this is an upcoming year. Obviously left Mookie Betts off because he's going to be playing infield this
moving
year.
to shortstop.
Yeah, so
Yep.
left him off outfielders.
I
Just
did
a
the same.
heads up. So when you don't hear Mookie, don't get all fucking pissed off, Irv.
Yep.
So let's start it off. So let's go 10-1, Ben. So who do you have number 10?
10-1. Okay. So this is my surprise of the and Jordan, you're probably not surprised by it, but for our listeners, my surprise of the top 10 list. Um, Young kid coming out into his second year, played 78 games last year, and I'm gonna go James Wood at number 10.
Interesting.
And I think this kid has a lot of upside. Um, Incredible bat. Didn't play as many games last year. Again, only played 78 games. But of that, he did have a what 4 assists, 4 errors, and really kind of kickstarted this kind of slow, well, the resurgence of the Washington Nationals, because they started off the season well last year. Um, and then this was kind of their big kind of shot in the arm to get them to end the season mediocrely. So I have James Woods as my number 10. I think this kid has got some major potential
Oh yeah,
out in Washington. His bat is incredible.
yeah. I do not have James Wood on my list, but that is a good one. I do have an honorable mention.
Okay.
Number 10 for me is going to be Brenton Doyle of the Colorado Rockies.
Okay.
Um, Arguably, well, I wouldn't even say arguably, hands down the best defensive player in all of baseball. I don't care any position, he's the best defensive player, and he plays center field. He also has a pretty good bat. Played 144 games last year. You gotta get those strikeout numbers down. He did strike out 25% of the time, but he did slug 439, and obviously he plays in Coors Field, so the numbers are gonna be a little inflated. But
Mhm.
I think the last year and a half he's kind of like had that breakout, and I think next year is really when we're gonna see him kind of like pop. And unfortunately, he plays for the Rockies,
Yeah, I was
but
just gonna say, like, I wish he had some players around him to help support,
yeah, but
because that's the difficult part with him.
I'm gonna go Brenton Doyle number 10. So number 9, Ben, who you got number 9?
I have this is gonna piss some people off. I have Arson Judge.
Arson Judge number 9, huh?
Arson Judge is number 9 with for me.
So Aaron Judge is higher.
No, Aaron Judge is lower. Um, I think this is one of the kind of I don't know if you could call it a surprising pick for 9. I think he's gonna struggle next year without Soto right next to him. And I know he's played well before Soto was there, but I think this is going to be a little bit of a downgrade year for him. He's not pushing for a big contract. He doesn't have a monster bat next to him in the lineup, like he did last year with Soto. And defensively, I mean, I just don't think he's that strong,
He's
and
definitely
he's
dropped off for
injury
sure.
prone. Yeah, and you got to worry about these injuries, and he's just I think he's on his downhill trend.
And I do
Um,
wonder, and so obviously I've Judge a lot higher on my list, but
mhm,
I texted you we got to make a DH list because I do wonder if he's going to play more DH than before. Obviously they have Giancarlo Stanton, so it makes it a little more difficult. But
mhm,
I do agree. Like he definitely downtrend. Like he was negative 5.4 defensive win shares last year. Like he was terrible defensively. So
mhm.
and obviously he had that big drop in the fucking World Series. So I do wonder at some point when the transition is going to be made um to center field. I mean, I'm sorry, to DH or for first base.
Mhm.
So you got Judge number 9.
Judge number 9. Yep.
I have Wyatt Langford number 9 from the
Yeah,
Texas
that's a good one.
Rangers.
Yep.
He had a slow start to the year, got hurt, but he really picked it up at second half of the year. And obviously, he was a very highly touted prospect. So I think we kind of see this year as his breakout year. So Wyatt Langford, number 9.
Yeah, he's just young. He's very young.
Yep.
So I wouldn't be surprised if it takes him one more year. But I definitely see why you got him at 9.
Okay, who do you got?
It's strong.
Who do you have at 8?
Number 8, again, kind of low, I think. Jordan. Again, the
Jordan's a
biggest part of this is
DH.
you have him as DH?
Yeah, he's definitely a DH. He barely plays in the outfield.
Okay.
Make a quick
Okay.
change. Make a quick change here.
Uh, okay. We are going to.
Like that's the thing with DH because like Jordan, in my opinion, Jordan, Otani, Tyler O'Neill, Marcell Ozuna are like pure DHs.
Mhm. Okay, I'm gonna throw in uh would this change where I have Aaron?
Well, if you want to flip flop them, you can. You still have time.
Yeah, I think I'm gonna flip on him. I think I'm gonna make Aaron 8 and I'm gonna make Michael Harris my
Okay.
number 9.
Okay. All right.
Um Kid is Kid has power. He can definitely fucking rope the ball. He's fairly good defensively, strong
Very
defensively,
good
and
defensively.
he is very fast.
Yes.
And he holds that outfield down. I think with Acuna coming back, that's also going to help that outfield be incredibly strong. Um, he does make
Fuck, I
throwing
didn't even
errors
put
though,
Acuna
which
on my
is
fucking list, dude.
you didn't?
No, dude, I fucking totally forgot that he was coming back.
I have I have him up a little higher. Let me just check Michael Harris really quick. He was on my uh he was on my honorable mentions, but I didn't pull up his numbers. If I remember correctly, he has made
I'll probably just drop my list and put Doyle back to honorable mention and move Acuna up to like 5, 6. But we'll figure it out.
yeah. Yep.
Fuck, dude, I
Um
totally fucking didn't even think about Acuna, dude. God
um
damn.
yeah, so I've got Michael Harris at number we'll put him at 9. And we'll move Judge up 1.
All right. So number 8, this is gonna be the shocker of the show, dude. I guarantee you don't even have this guy even on your radar, Ben. I'm telling you, I'd be shocked.
Okay, I'm waiting. You got me on fucking pins and needles over here.
So this guy, incredible, incredible second half of last year. I mean, if you just take his second half of last year, he probably finishes top 5 in the MVP. He also plays for the greatest franchise in baseball.
Oh, Jesus. Rooker?
Nah, Rooker's a DH.
Oh, okay.
Lawrence Butler,
Oh, that's who I was thinking of. Yep.
the Law Dog. So second half of last year, Ben, 898 OPS in the second half of last year, 13 home runs, 155 WRC plus. He figured it out, and I expect big, big things for him this year. And in turn, I also expect the A's to make the playoffs, which we will obviously talk about further on down the road. But give me Lawrence Butler, number 8.
There we go.
We
I definitely like that. Still can't believe they pulled him down last year for wearing a bracelet.
No, that wasn't him. That was Stewie Ruiz.
No, but there was another one. And Butler.
I mean, I don't think he got pulled for that, dude. He couldn't fucking hit a beach ball
No.
the first couple of months.
No.
He figured he worked with Darren Bush, the hitting coach, and just figured it out. It was that Diamondback series where he like really started to fucking click. And I remember because you bet the Diamondbacks like -1.5, and you were like, "Bro, where the fuck? Where did this A's team come from?" And Lawrence Butler had like 2 home runs in that game, or he had like a
Yeah.
home run and like 4 RBIs, and he was just fucking killing it. All right, who you got number 7?
Number 7, I have a change in scenery here for this guy. And also coming back from an injury, which I hope will boost his numbers up. And I think he does have a good year in Chicago, and that's Kyle Tucker.
Love it.
Uh, um,
I
I
got
have
Kyle
him
Tucker
at
a lot higher.
yeah. Um, I can see that. The reason why I'm a little hesitant over there is because he only had 78 games last year. Does he have any nagging injuries coming off of, of the short season, the injury-prone season. But I do think Chicago is a better place for him to play than Houston.
Agreed.
Um, and I think we'll see another All-Star season from him.
Love it. Love it. Number 7. I also don't think you have this guy on your list as well, Ben. I'm going Julio Rodriguez. I expect a major bounce back this year.
He was on my I mean, obviously if I can love him, but he's on my honorable mentions.
Yeah, I think he's gonna. He kind of put it together in the second half of last year. He just had such a bad first half that it doesn't really matter. But obviously we know what he can do, and I'm expecting big things. And I also think that's part of the reason why the Mariners haven't like gone out and splooged on offense, because I think they expect both Julio Rodriguez and Victor Robles next year to really boost
Another
their
show.
offense, and Randy Rosarina. I actually think they might have one of the best outfields in all of baseball offensively next year. But yeah, give me Julio Rodriguez number 7.
Nice. And number 6, I had the guy we talked about earlier. I have Ronald Acuna.
Nice.
Um, he could easily be within the top 3.
But we
But
just don't know.
yeah, we just don't know. We don't know how he's going to be, coming off of a knee, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So only 49 games last year. I think if we see him come back to, playing the full season and coming anywhere close to what he did in 2023, where he led the league in plate appearances, at bats, runs, hits, stolen bases, see, oh, caught stealing, not good. OBP, OPS plus, ROBA, like he was incredible in
Oh yeah.
2023.
Yeah.
So coming off that injury, I hope he comes off well.
Yep. Number 6, I'm going Riley Green of the Detroit Tigers. I'm expecting an MVP top 5 season from Riley Green this year. 151 WRC plus last year. Only played 110 games, dealt with some injuries. But when he came back, Ben, that's when the Tigers really fucking made their run in the second half of last year. I'm obviously very high on the Tigers, a lot higher than most. I do think that they're probably going to be the best team in the American League when all is said and done. And I think a big part of it is going to be Riley Green. And I expect big things from Riley Green this year. I think Riley Green is going to be one of the best players in Major League Baseball, not just outfielders. I think he's going to be one of the best players.
Mhm.
All right,
Yeah, I don't even have him on my honorable mention list. Like, probably could be, but
I don't have Acuna, so I fucked I fucked up too.
yeah, yeah.
All right.
But yeah, he could very good. I don't know if he's top 10, in my opinion, at
Bro,
least
he
at
was
this
like
point.
he was
But
top
he could
5
come out.
last year.
What?
He was top 5 last year.
I don't know about that.
He was top 5 in like 3 of the biggest categories you look for: WAR, OPS, and WRC plus. He was top 5.
Yeah,
You're tripping. All right, who do you got at number 5?
I have Jackson Churio.
Damn, I don't even have Churio on my list.
Yeah, same thing as Riley Green. Didn't play as many games last year. He was no, okay, so never mind. He played full season, 148. But he really came into in the second half of the season,
Yes, he
and I
did.
think he was just getting his feet wet in the beginning of the year. Ended up with 21 home runs after June. Didn't hit any before June, and 21 after June. And really think he is just like he's the face of that franchise moving forward. And I think he's gonna do wonderful things in Milwaukee. So he's a young kid. He's only 20. He's got, 2 more decades, and I think he's going
He
to
said he
be,
got 2 more decades.
yeah, he'll be playing until he's 40. Number 3 in Rookie of the Year voting, 22nd in MVP voting.
Yeah, I actually like that, dude. Number 5 for me, I have the guy that finished number 2 in Rookie of the Year voting. That's Jackson Merrill. Action
Oh,
Jackson Merrill.
okay.
I mean, the kid's just incredible. He's great defensively, great bat, has a beautiful swing, and by all accounts, he's a very hard worker. So I'm expecting him to make a jump. My one concern about Jackson Merrill next year, Ben, is if the Padres do decide to sell, like not having, a Tatis in the lineup, like how the fuck is that gonna look with him? I mean, he did perform without Tatis in the lineup last year, but um, you know, that is one thing. But I do think, I said it before on one of our shows before. The Padres, they should blow it up and start building around him. I think he's that good of a player.
Yep.
All right, number 4, Ben.
Just talked about the Padres. Fernando Tatis.
Oh my god, dude, I didn't even put Tatis on here, bro. I fucked my list up, bro.
You needed fucking Wyatt Langford, Brenton Doyle, Lawrence Butler in there, Bradley Green in there.
Yeah, I mean, I love all those
Yeah.
guys, dude.
Yeah. Yeah, so I have Tatis in there.
I gotta revise my
I mean,
list.
just the difference he makes when he's in lineup,
Yeah.
offensively and defensively is it's an incredible feat. Dodgers were between good and great last year, and when he came back, they were great.
They
So
were really good without him, though.
yeah, okay, yeah, really good. And then they moved to great when he came back. So, yeah, Fernando Tatis, gonna be interesting to see if the Dodgers fire sale now that the Padres fire sale now that the Dodgers keep buying, and you've got the lawsuits and
There's no chance
selling of the team.
There's no chance the Padres trade him to the Dodgers.
Oh no. I'm just saying because the Dodgers are building
Oh,
and all of the issues are happening in San Diego, it'll be interesting to see where he goes and what team he ends up with.
yeah.
Because that could influence his standing on the list, whether positive or negative.
Yeah. Number 4, I have Kyle Tucker. He was an MVP candidate. He was probably the MVP before he got hurt last year, and then he missed 2.5 months. I'm expecting him to bounce back. Also, like you said earlier, I think Wrigley actually plays to his strengths a lot better than Minute Maid Park. So, I'm expecting big things. And not only that, then he's also playing in more hitter friendly parks in the NL Central. Obviously, he gets to play in Cincy, and then Busch Stadium. I think Kyle Tucker's gonna have a big year, dude.
Yep, definitely agree with you on that.
All right, who you got number 3?
Number 3, I am looking at a guy who is going to be getting out of his sophomore slump. That's going to
Interesting.
be Corbin Carroll.
Number 3. I have him on my honorable mentions.
Wow, not even in your top 10, huh? Okay,
Nah.
I'm I'm interested to see who your top 3 are though. Um,
You're not even gonna guess who my number 3 is.
Okay.
But
So
give
yeah,
your reason on Corbin Carroll.
looking for him to come back strong. Had a little bit of a down year last year, but was still kind of middle of the pack in kind of outfielders wise, but coming off that strong rookie year, I think you see him back to his and he's got help in Arizona now.
Yep.
So I think this Arizona team is going to be a lot better than they were last year. I think that brings Corbin Carroll back to where he was in his rookie year, and yeah, he gets out of this little slump he's been in. Not even a slump, his sophomore slump.
I think injuries had a lot to do with it too.
Sure.
All right, my number 3. This player is a very electric 5-tool player. Had a hell of a season last year. Made the All-Star team. Was probably the best player on his team that was fighting for a wild card in the AL. This is Jarren Duran.
Oh, he's on my honorable mention
of the Boston Red Sox.
Yeah.
Jarren Duran is one of my favorite players to watch in all of baseball. Same with Brenton Doyle, which is why Brenton Doyle made my list. Jarren Duran just plays every game as hard as he can, like a kid going to fucking little league outfield, and I appreciate the hell out of that shit. And he's also very good, coming off a very good year. I'm hoping he could replicate. I think he could replicate. He has 6.7 WAR, which is third in all of outfielders last year. So I'm looking for a big year from Jarren Duran. Obviously, he plays in a very hitter friendly park as well. So in Fenway. So I got Jarren Duran number 3.
Okay.
Who do you got number 2?
This was your number 5. I have Jackson Merrill.
Oh wow.
I have him up at number 2. I think this is going to be his. I mean, you can't even say his breakout year. I think he's going to replicate what he did last year.
He should have won Rookie of the Year last year.
He should have won Rookie of the Year last year. I definitely agree with you on that. And I think he's going to be just as good or even better. And I think he's going to be what moves this team. Especially after, again, we are predicting that the Dodgers or the Padres are going to go out and sell, because of their kind of swings and misses on free agents, them not going after many free agents, all of the legal issues that's going on, the possibility of the selling of the team. I think Jackson Merrill is going to be the spotlight of this team, when we get into June, July.
Agreed. Number 2, I got Aaron Judge.
Interesting.
And then number 1, I think we both have the same guy.
Why 2?
Well, I mean, he's still, until he's dethroned, I think he's the best power hitter of our generation, of the last or I should say this generation. And until he's like dethroned, I do agree with you. Like, I do think he's going to have, I don't think he's going to replicate last year or the year before. I totally agree with that. But he's still arguably the most feared hitter in baseball.
Mm-hmm. No, I think our number 1 is.
Well, for different things though. You know what I mean? Okay, who's number 1?
Juan Soto.
Yes. But he's just such a good hitter, dude. He's like, he understands the strike zone very well. Like, he's not going to swing at bad pitches, right? I mean,
which is why Aaron Judge should not be number 2 on your list.
No, because Aaron Judge had 9 WAR last year, fucking slugging 743. Ben, like, he's still fucking.
Yeah, but we're expecting a drop off.
I do, but I still got to see it. And even if he's not going to hit 55 home runs, but he's going to hit 40, 45. You know what I mean? Like, he's still going to hit a fucking ton of home runs. He's still going to have over 100 RBIs. Like, that's not going to change. It don't matter. That's just who he is.
Yeah. I think defensively you're going to see a downgrade.
I do agree, dude. I do think that defensively he will take a step back. He took a step back last year. And I think we see another step back. And I think we continue to see that. Which is why it's going to be interesting. Which is why I was saying, like, I don't know if a position move is in his future, whether it's DH or first base or something.
Isn't he going to be playing center field too?
No, I think they're going to have Jason Dominguez in center. They have to, bro. They can't Judge.
Yeah, I didn't think Jason Jadon played center though.
Or they could have strictly Jazz Chisholm in center, but again, they lost fucking Gleyber Torres, so they probably need him to play second.
Yeah.
I don't know, but maybe they move Judge to fucking first base at some point because they signed fucking washed up Paul Goldschmidt.
Mm-hmm.
It's a terrible signing. Because, dude, he wasn't good in center. He wasn't good in the outfield last year, bro. Like, he wasn't. That's just the facts.
Yep.
It's not me fucking spewing bullshit. However, though, after listening to both our lists, I would revise my list a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
I'd probably go Soto 1, Judge 2, Duran 3, Tatis 4, Merrill 5, Acuna 6, Riley Green 7.
Tucker.
No, Tucker 4.
You said Merrill 4.
So I'd go Soto, Judge, Tatis, Duran, Tucker, Merrill, Green, Tatis, Or,
You
I'm
already
sorry,
said Tatis.
Acuna.
Acuna.
Green, Acuna, Julio, Law Dog, Wyatt, and then Doyle.
Okay. So who's your honorable mentions?
My honorable mentions would be Wyatt Langford, Doyle, and then my other honorable mentions would be James Wood,
Mm-hmm.
Pete Crow Armstrong,
Yeah.
and Jackson Trigo.
Okay. My honorable mention, you mentioned three of them already. So I had White Langford, I had Julio, and I had Jared Duran. The other one I had on, well, I had two more again. Other one is Dylan Cruz. I think Dylan Cruz takes a step up. I think this kid's going to be rookie of the year next year. Um, Obviously, it all depends on who's playing and who's playing well. But I think Dylan Cruz has the possibility of being rookie of the year. Didn't have enough games last year to be considered a rookie. So his clock restarts
Yeah.
for kind of rookie wise. So I think he's going to have a big year. I think Washington's going to have a big year. So I have him on my list there, and then I have an asterisk.
Okay, what's the asterisk?
The asterisk is for this player to be moved.
Huh.
And if this player is not moved, then he is not on my honorable mentions list.
Who's
This
that?
player is moved. He is on my honorable mentions list, and that's Lou Bob.
Interesting.
I think if he gets out of Chicago and if he goes to a team that has some support, I think we can see his offensive numbers skyrocket. Get him in the right place in the lineup with the right surrounding players. And I think with that comes confidence, and that boosts your on-field play. So I think again, big asterisk on this one for Lubom.
Agreed. That's a huge, yeah.
It's a big asterisk.
Yeah. It is. Because I would also put O'Neal Cruz on here too, especially for honorable mention. But I don't know if he's gonna play short or if he's gonna play
That's
outfield
why
this year.
I didn't put him there because I figured he'd be a short.
Like who knows where he's gonna play? So probably put him on the shortstop list. But I would have him up here. I think he's gonna have a breakout year this year. Finally, thought he was gonna have it last year, but I think this is the year. A lot of good outfielders, though. I'm telling you, man. When I was making my fucking list, dude, I was like scratching names and trying to figure stuff out. And like, there's guys that I didn't even put on here that like I still consider hella good players. Like Corbin Carroll, for example. You know what I mean? Like, you're right, dude. He is due for a bounce back year. But he had such a drop off last year. It was like hard to put him on this year. But
I'm interested from my Giants. I'm interested to see where Jung Ho Lee ends up at the end of the year.
yeah,
I don't think he's a top 10 or even honorable mention worthy now. But he played really well in games like what was it, like 10 through 26?
yeah, he showed flashes for sure.
Right before he got injured, he was looking really good. So, that's going to be an outfielder to watch there. So,
I also like Heliot Ramos too. I think he's
yeah,
nice.
if he gets any fucking playing time.
Oh, he's gonna start.
There's a lot of talk about him being DH.
Really?
Yeah. Yeah, him switch was it Encarnacion?
Yeah, Harar.
Harar, yeah, being that third outfielder with Jung Hoo Lee and Yaz. So we'll see.
Nice.
Spring training's going to be interesting for the Giants.
Yeah, a lot of teams.
Yep.
Man. All right. All right.
Quickly wanted to ask, what do you think of the A's new logo?
What, the fucking bridge?
The bridge, yeah.
I think it's a word that I probably shouldn't say on here, but
It's the most fucking pansy bridge in Sacramento too.
it's just a joke, dude. Like, the elephant's been around since fucking like 1906, and
Yeah.
I already feel like they're like trying to kind of strip the history of the team a little bit. which like wasn't supposed to happen, and therefore it's like, I don't know, dude. Yeah, not very stoked about that. About that.
I was reading people's comments too, and one person was shocked that it wasn't a Ricky Henderson logo, but then someone else said that they have an alternate with a Ricky Henderson logo, or they have a Ricky Henderson logo as well. But then also said like Ricky wouldn't want to be on either the Sacramento or the Las Vegas A's unis
Yeah, he would.
because he only wanted them to be in Oakland.
No, Ricky will. Ricky want to be on. Ricky's about Ricky. He don't care where it's at. He want to be on. If he's on the uniform, he want to be on the uniform.
I also heard a comment of like, when are the rooted in Sacramento t-shirts and logos going to be coming out?
Never. Hopefully.
I swear we gotta start doing a baseball like t-shirt line.
Why?
We gotta do the oh my gosh, what's Fisher's first name?
The owner, Fisher?
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh my God.
Steve?
Yeah, Steve Fisher.
Yeah. It was the FSF, which is the fuck Steve Fisher, and then Los Deferrals.
Oh,
and
John Fisher. John Fisher.
What John? Okay, so FJF.
Yeah.
Or yeah. We gotta do the Los Deferrals.
Los
We gotta
Deferrals.
trademark that. Like I'm sure we can come up with shirts for each city and put those out.
Oh yeah, 100%. There's some. There's definitely some good ones out there. The Los Deferrals. Yeah. That's the best one.
I would buy that one. I would buy that in a hat. I would buy that
in
t-shirt.
Has to be in the Dodgers font too. Los Deferrals.
Oh yeah. Oh. I think we're on to something.
Los Deferrals. All right. We're gonna be back on Tuesday. We're gonna be breaking down. What are we doing on Tuesday?
Catchers.
That's gonna be a tough list, dude.
That's gonna be that is. Yep.
Not because there's not a lot of good ones, because there's a lot of bad ones.
There's a lot of bad ones. I think there's a lot of good catchers there. I mean, I think we can at least come up with 10.
I think like the top like 3 or 4 are like obvious, and then from 4 to 10 is like, it's gonna be interesting.
Yeah.
It's gonna be interesting.
I can see that.
It's gonna be interesting. But we'll be back on Tuesday. We're gonna be breaking down top 10 catchers. So join us Tuesday night around 9:15 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. Twitch.tv/taproomsports. YouTube.com/@taproomsportspodcast. That's where you can find us. If you missed any of tonight's show, you can find it on anywhere where you get your podcast fix. Just search Taproom Sports Podcast. We're gonna be obviously totally rebranding and opening up new feeds, and once we do that, we'll obviously be sharing them out. But you know, we'll always, as far as like streaming and stuff, always twitch.tv/taproomsports, youtube.com/@taproomsports. So find us there, and we'll see y'all on Tuesday. Have a blessed Martin Luther King Jr. Day, aka Trump inauguration day, etc. Appreciate y'all. Have a blessed one. We out. Peace.